In Shadowrun 5th edition... wait, hold up. Alright, so this is less of a fact check and more of an information piece for GMs and players. So this sort of fact check will be covering the Gunnery skill in its various forms. The reason for this is there's a lot of contention in regards to what attributes Gunnery uses in various situations. These following decisions have been made based both off the rules in the book and also the word of freelancers and people working on the Shadowrun's mission team, but it's ultimately up to the GM in this case, either you or your table GM. So, Gunnery is a skill used when a character wishes to fire a gun, or other such weapon, that is mounted on something, such as a tripod, a vehicle, or a drone. It is used regardless of the weapon type being fired. However, it uses different attributes depending on the situation. Alright, back into character. When a character is firing a gun mounted on a vehicle or static mount in person, they roll Gunnery plus Agility, limited by accuracy, when making their attack. This point is bog standard and is correct by all rules. When a drone is firing a gun mounted on their body, they roll Targeting Autosoft plus Pilot, limited by accuracy, when making their attack. This is once again standard, and the Pilot attribute is simply a replacement for the metahuman attributes. Targeting Autosoft is simply used in place of any skill such as Gunnery, or sometimes in their case automatics. Now, when a rigger is jumped into one of their drones, they roll Gunnery plus Agility, limited by accuracy, when making their attack. The reason given for this is that a jumped-in rigger is less like remote controlling a gun and more like having the gun be your arm. The rules do not actually contain any mention of riggers firing their jumped-in guns with logic as some people state, but this is a point that some GMs will disagree with, as it never explicitly states that the rigger uses agility, although they generally use the same attributes as they would in person. Again, the people who I've asked, including freelancers and those who work on the missions team, have said that you would use agility when you are jumped in as a rigger. Another argued point is remote control. When a character is remotely firing a gun mounted on something, with say a comlink or controls, they use Gunnery plus Logic, limited by accuracy, or limited by data processing, whichever is lower. This is easily confused, as the rules contain a line in remote control that says you would use agility, as they state you would use the skill as you normally would, but it is said to be incorrect and to follow the rules in the Gunnery pages, which state that firing remotely uses logic. So, those are the 4 different situations in which Gunnery is used. However, there is one other way in which someone would use logic instead of agility usually. Again, drones would still use Pilot, as this is their catch-all for attributes. That situation is when a character is using passive targeting. This means the character is using the vehicle's sensor attribute instead of the weapon's accuracy attribute. This means the character rolls Gunnery, or Targeting Autosoft, plus Logic, or Pilot, limited by Sensor, no matter the mode. The other effect that firing with sensors has is that it adds the signature table bonus from page 184 of SR5 to the dice pool. This means that large vehicles are easier to hit, and humans are harder to hit. Alright, so as far as I know, those are the most correct answers to the questions regarding Gunnery. However, it is still up to the GMs to make the final ruling. Rest assured that I did do my homework on this one, a little bit more than usual, and it's not just my clearly king-like word on the situation, but rather the words of multiple other king-like people. Later, mates. My next fact check should be back to my pretense of professionalism. Cheers for watching, and say hi to Angel. How you doing, girl? You're a cutie.